right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to another episode of We Create Music. I am your host, B. Vaughn, and today we have an extraordinary guest, multi-talented producer, engineer, and DJ, Rob Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank
Glad
you
to
for
have
inviting me, man.
No
I
doubt.
had a couple hiccups before, but
Oh, no, that's all good, brother.
But now we're here now. Though,
We are here, and
that's good.
that's all that really matters.
Exactly.
That's right. So even before we get into talking about your background, as far as getting into music and DJing and engineering, I need the entire We Create Music community, whoever's watching, to help me congratulate this brother on his recent marriage. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Welcome to Married Life, brother.
Thank you. Yeah. 2 weeks in.
2 weeks in. That's right.
2 weeks in, man.
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing. Though.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Had a good time at the wedding.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, man. We had a good time.
Big congratulations.
Appreciate that, man.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
All right, so if you wouldn't mind telling us, how did you get started in music? Take us all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah, so I guess like to take it back, like I'm a military kid, so
Hey, me too.
So I moved around a lot growing up. So
Yeah, me too.
I was born in Columbus, Georgia.
Mm.
Lived there for like 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Germany, Texas, Illinois, California.
Nice.
So I was moving like every 2 years. My dad decided to basically finish his military career in South Carolina. So I moved to Columbia, South Carolina when I was 11. And I was only supposed to be there for a few years, so we lived in like these little apartments. So I met this kid. His name is Chavis. One of my best friends too. We're still really cool. I met him. And, we started kicking it for a little while, and then there used to be these other apartment complexes that were next to us. So when I was in middle school, I met this guy that lived in these apartments next to us. His name was Lakeith, and I went to so I used to go to his apartment sometimes and hang out. So his brother used to make beats on Fruity Loops. So I used to go over there and I used to hear his brother just making like beats and stuff like that. And then he made beats as well. So I was like, man, that's kind of cool, man. I was like, can you show me how to do it? And he was like, yeah, I can teach you. So he taught me how to use Fruity Loops like when I was in 6th grade. And then really after that, I went back to my friend Chavis and I was like, hey, man, I just learned about this Fruity Loops program, man. Like, we should learn it together and everything. I was like, I know the basics. So we ended up like downloading a version on his computer. I didn't have like a really nice computer at my house at that time. He had his computer could probably handle Fruity Loops at that time. Because this was back in like 2001.
Yeah, computers back in that day weren't not that powerful.
Yeah, they weren't doing anything.
Not at all.
That's when dial-up was still going on and everything.
Yeah, yes, it was.
So he had a nicer computer than I did. So yeah, we downloaded Fruity Loops, man, and then like I said, we just started making beats like crazy, and that's just kind of like where I kind of just fell in love with like making beats. Some of the other stuff just kind of came along later on. Like after I went to SAE after college, and that's where I kind of got opened up more to like engineering and doing live sound and DJing, really like anything that's kind of going on with me now. I kind of like got that from SAE, but it all started with just seeing somebody just playing with Fruity Loops, man. Probably every producer's main story, they just see somebody playing with Fruity Loops. So I mean, I use Ableton now. That's my go-to now. It's Ableton, but I think every producer just like they always start on Fruity Loops or something. I don't know.
I didn't start on Fruity Loops.
Okay, you didn't start on?
No, I didn't start on Fruity Loops. And so, not Fruity, Fruity Loops. Yes. Well, I didn't start on FL. I didn't. I actually started on Ableton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is where my whole music production career, and actually I didn't even see somebody else do it. I didn't even get into, I know this ain't my story, but
No.
But when I started off as a singer, right? So growing up, that's what I did. I sang in choir and groups and all that stuff. And the group I was in, we broke up. And I said, you know what? I don't want to sing no more. I'm just gonna go make some music. Hey, I didn't know how to make a single thing at all. And I said I'm gonna go learn how to make music. And I bought Ableton. The thing was like version 4.
Oh, wow.
And it was Ableton Live Lite that I had with some MIDI keyboard. It was like an M Audio Oxygen 1 keyboard or something like that. It had like a crappy interface. And that's where I started, was on Ableton. Now I don't really use Ableton today, but yeah, that's what I started off. Started on with Ableton.
It's still cool to see people actually that you even started with it, because like anytime I tell someone that I use Ableton, they're like, man, I have no clue how to use it.
Oh man,
they're like, I don't know how you'd use it, because a lot of people really do still use Fruity Loops, and a lot. Of people,
I know people who use it today.
Yeah, like a lot of people,
kill it.
like even the big time producers still use it. Metro Boom and all of them still use Fruity Loops to this day.
Smitty uses it.
Yeah, Smitty uses Fruity Loops still.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people
Kevin uses it. I mean,
you know, and a lot of people use Logic. So like, I kind of get excited when I hear somebody that actually uses Ableton, because I feel like the family of Ableton producers are small. You don't hear it that often, so I get excited. You tell me you use Ableton as your go-to, I'll be like, oh man. But I fell in love with Ableton at SAE though. And I don't even think they really cared about it that much at SAE, because we only learned it for like 1 week, and they really just taught you the basics about it. But again, there was somebody at SAE that was really good with it. So that's why I started using it. It kind of reminds me of Fruity Loops too, like just like a Mac version. And at that time, I didn't feel like trying to do like all the cracks to be able to get Fruity Loops on my MacBook then, because it still wasn't Mac compatible. So like Ableton kind of just reminded me of Fruity Loops.
You had to get like the crossover,
or
or use the wine. I think it's called wine or something like that.
Like log out and log back in. I was like, man,
that's too much.
I was like, I ain't got time to do all this.
So
I was like, let me just do Ableton.
Yeah.
But now I'm in love with Ableton.
That's what's up. I want to go back. Germany.
Yes.
How old were you when you were in Germany?
I was only 30.
Oh, okay.
So I don't remember it, but yeah, I was only like 30.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I said.
I was going to ask where you were in Germany.
Yeah, wherever my dad went, that's where I just went. So.
Yeah, that's been 3 years over in Germany.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, for high school. But that's what I was going to ask, what part of Germany you were in, because I come from a military family. And
okay.
I'm a military, quote unquote, military brat. By the time I was 14, my stepdad was in the army, and so the first place he went to was Germany.
Oh wow!
And so that's where I finished high school, was over there.
Oh, good. So you was overseas for high school.
Yeah, it was a crazy.
That's what I said. That sounds like it might be kind of fun.
It's crazy. It's a crazy experience.
Like it might be kind of fun, man.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it was cool to like grow up in Columbia too, though. So like, just because it was like the first place I actually sat down. Like I said, I got to go to middle school and high school there, and then I went to college in South Carolina too. So it was just kind of cool to just be in like one place and like moving all the time. I actually got to go to school with somebody and go to high school with them, and like actually have like some lifelong friends now, because I actually was in one place. So it was pretty cool. I don't have any family in South Carolina or anything like that, so really just friends and stuff. But yeah, Columbia's cool place. Cool place to grow up though.
That's what's up. Okay, so let's talk about, I'll just get right to it. Let's talk about Ignorant Luxury.
Yes.
Let's talk about the album. Let's talk about your process of how you even started the concept of coming up with this album.
Yeah.
And then, of course, where can people find your album?
So yeah, you can find Ignorant Luxury on any streaming platform. It's on SoundCloud too. So yeah, you can find it on SoundCloud, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Pandora, wherever you can stream anything at, you can find it at. It's me and a buddy of mine from back home. His name's CJ, but he goes by Charlie Maverick.
Okay.
So basically the album, and I never planned on doing an album with him. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I was trying to get into like the whole leasing business, or like leasing beats. So I was using Airbit.
Okay.
To lease beats, and I knew him from like back in the day. Like I knew he rapped, but I didn't know that he was like doing it really seriously. So when I moved to Atlanta, he was still in Columbia. So I realized that he had leased a couple of beats off of my site. So he just reached out to me one day and he was just like, "Hey man, I leased a couple of beats off you. I made a couple of songs. I just want you to hear them and see what you think about them." I was like, "All right, cool." So he sent me the 2 songs, and then I listened to them and I was like, "Yo, these are really good." I was like, I haven't really heard anyone rap over my beats like this in a while. He's like, "Man, you for real?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, these things sound real good, man. I was like, "Yo, we should like do an album."
Hey.
And he's like, "Shoot, I'm down." So at that time, he was living in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach when he sent me those songs. So maybe like we didn't really work on anything for like 6 months to a year. But he randomly had hit me up one day and was like, "Hey, I'm moving to Atlanta with my girl." I was like, "Oh, dang!"
Wow.
So he moved to Atlanta. So when he moved to Atlanta, we linked up. At that time, I was like real heavy with AJ over at Salem Songs at the time, and I think AJ he was like out of town or he had some kind of event he was doing that night. So I was like, so I just asked AJ. I was like, "Hey, I got this guy that I made a couple songs with. Is it cool if he comes over here and we can just kind of log in the studio for a few hours while you're doing your event?" And AJ was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." So he came over. We recorded 2 songs, and then from there we were like, "Yeah, we're definitely doing an album." I was like, "Yeah, we're definitely gonna do an album together." So like we recorded that night. We had recorded like a song, and then we also have recorded which is the intro on the album now. So then like every like 2 weeks we would just get together and we would just be working on songs, man. And we would just keep cranking out bangers after bangers, and then by the time we was done, we was able to find 10 tracks that we really liked. Like I said, it's a kind of a cool project because it's like the first like album I would say that I like executively produced. So like I produced everything on the album, so every beat is mine. I recorded every single song, and I mixed every song, and then AJ did the masterings for me on it and like cleaned up the songs after like post production and stuff like that. But yeah, everything that was done on the album was me, and of course, like I said, he rapped on it. So it was pretty dope, man. Like I said, he's like one of the first artists in a while that I felt like I could do a whole album with. Because like I said, sometimes, like I've worked with other artists, sometimes the songs don't really come out that well. Or like when I send people beats, sometimes like, people will hit me back up and they'll be like, "Hey man, I really like the beats. I just don't know if they for me. Like, can you send me I don't know, a Lil Key type beat, or can you send me a Jadakiss type beat or something like that?" And like I said, for me, like I don't want to sound like anybody else. Like I said, so like for me, like I can give you a Rob Thomas beat if you want to, catch this wave. You know what I mean? And sometimes it just doesn't work with artists. Sometimes like that's not what they're looking for. Sometimes they want something that sounds like something else. But like I said, I've never really tried to sound like anybody else. I always just want people to be like, "Okay, yeah, that's Rob." So he's like in a while, like I said, but when I send him beats, he just writes songs to him. Like we're working on Ignorant Luxury 2 right now. I think I sent him like 30 beats, like maybe a few months ago. He wrote a song to every single beat.
Wow.
So he never, anytime I ever sent him beats, he never responded with like, "Hey man, can you send me something like this?" Like he just gravitated towards like the type of beats that I made. So like I said, it was just like a natural thing when it kind of just worked together. So yeah, it came together really nice, man. He's actually about to move back to Atlanta. So to be honest, the second album's probably already done. We just need to record it. But yeah, that's kind of how that all came together, man. Real organic, man. Real organic, and like I said, it came together real nice, and we'll definitely be doing a lot more stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up,
later on during the year, man. And I got some other artists that I'm gonna be working with this year too. I got a guy named JBIV. He's like an R&B singer. Like me and him are gonna be working on a like R&B compilation and like dropping that in February. And then I'm probably gonna start working on like a Rob Thomas compilation album as well that I'll just produce with various artists and stuff like that. So yeah, man, got some stuff coming.
Hey, you got some stuff coming. You got to make sure you check out Ignorant Luxury. I had the privilege of listening to the whole thing last night, and it was pretty dope. You definitely got to check it out.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, it's a pretty dope album. So let's talk about you sold beats on Airbit, right?
Yeah.
And so regardless if it's Airbit or BeatStars or any type of beat selling platform, I just want to talk about the differences between using that particular medium versus working collectively with an artist. I mean, what were some of the major differences between just trying to sell beats online versus creating a true organic project with someone?
Yeah, like that's a very good question actually. When you leasing beats, like I said, somebody buys something, they just go make a song. You're not with the artist and stuff like that, so it's like I feel like sometimes you can't get the full creative, juices flowing or the like best product sometimes when you're not in the studio with the artist. Like one thing I realized, like from the 2 songs he did make, those didn't go on the album. Okay. But when we were, it's like when you get in the studio with an artist though, it's like you guys can bounce ideas off each other. So it's like he might hear the beat or something because he's around me. He can easily say like, "Hey man, pull that beat up." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And he might be like, "Hey, I think maybe maybe we should add a cymbal here or take the hi hat out here." Or I also like recording. Sometimes I honestly like recording the artists that I work with too, just cause like you can just be like, if they're maybe in the studio with like some of their homies or something like that, not everyone's gonna tell somebody like, "Oh, that wasn't a good take," or "This wasn't like that." A lot of people aren't gonna do that. So like I kind of like when you got that relationship with the artist, like with him, to be like, "Hey man, you can come a little harder on that," or maybe you should try your ad libs like this, or maybe you don't need to double this, and maybe we should, or he'll be like, "Oh, put a reverse in it or something."
Right.
So yeah, I think that, like I said, the biggest difference is like, with leasing, you don't have as much control over what the artist does. Like I said, they're just gonna go record it, I don't know, in their closet at home or something like that, and then like I just feel like you just can't get the full process unless you're with somebody. So it was really good that we was able to be in the same room together because we was able to get actually, nice recordings. Like, maybe if he would have recorded it at home, maybe it would have been clipping the whole time, but he didn't care. But, if he comes record this with me in the studio and I'm recording him, then it's like, okay, cool. Like, hey, man, we need to redo that because the vocal doesn't sound clean and stuff like that. So I do think it's really important to get in the studio with artists while they work, and as much as you can, especially like if it's, because it's just your, it's kind of your song too.
Yeah, it is.
Rapping, you got a big part to do with it too.
That's right.
So I think it's pretty important to make sure you're with people as well.
Yeah, because I see today that the part of a big push is selling and leasing beats online, and it kind of takes away. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I have a BeatStars account.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything up there. And that's so sad too, because I paid the money to do it, and then I don't know if I really loaded up. So I kind of just like gave him free money. It was so sad, right? Because I never took full advantage of that platform. But then, so I guess here's a question I want to ask. Do you think the online leasing business is a saturated market or an oversaturated market?
I definitely do. Yeah, I think it's super. Yeah, it is. Like I don't even, to be honest, I didn't even sell that many beats off Airbit as I probably would have liked to. I don't even have an Airbit account anymore. It's like too much competition almost on it. It's like, cause like for me, like I wanted to do like $100 at least for a beat, but then but the top people on there are selling 5 for $50. So it's like someone comes to my page and I think my beat is worth $100 to lease it. But to them they're like, "Oh, this is a good beat," but I can go over here to Johnny Rocket and I can get 5 from him for $50. He's selling his things for $10 a beat. So it's like, but there's way more people on like the leasing sites that are selling like $10, $15, $20 beats than people that are doing like what I was trying to do, like $100 lease and stuff like that. So yeah, I do think it's a little bit. I definitely do think it's saturated, but I think it's more with the pricing, man. I think if everyone would just raise their pricing on it, then I think it would give the consumer, they wouldn't have a choice but to start paying $50 for a lease. It's just, I mean, I've seen people selling them for like buy one get 4 free. Like it'd be some crazy stuff. It'd be some crazy stuff on the leasing site. So it's like,
I'm like, what in the world?
So it's like, oh man, buy one $10 beat, get 4 free. Of course they're gonna go buy that. Yeah, of course they're gonna go buy the $10.
Why wouldn't I?
The $10 beat that they're gonna get 4, and they can go get 1 from me for $100. So yeah, like I said, it definitely is oversaturated, and there's a lot of stuff, like I said, on the leasing things that just make it hard for somebody that's trying to really make some money off of it. Difficult, like I was saying, like the buy one get 4 free. It's just like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. If I was an artist, I would do it.
Shoot, department stores don't do that.
Yeah, so it's
retail. The retail industry don't do buy one get 4 free. Buy one shirt get 4 shirts free.
So it's like, so it kind of helps me out. So, Yeah, I mean, I kind of left the leasing thing alone.
Yeah.
So,
So do you think that undercuts or undervalues the music producer community as a whole when, because it's a business, right?
yeah,
I mean, it is a business. We're trying to make money off of the product that we sat in our studio for hours upon hours and created this work of art.
yeah, definitely.
And I guess, is it undercutting what we do as producers, and is it making it undervalued?
Yeah, I personally think so because like when you're getting stuff that cheap, it kind of because it happens to me a lot, to be honest. Probably happens to every producer. If they're used to doing that, it kind of makes them when you come to them with a price, like in person or something like that. The first thing they're gonna say is, "Well, I can go online and get a beat for $10," and it's like, well, okay, we'll go get the beat for $10 online. I'm not gonna charge $10 to lease a beat. So I do think it kind of clouds artists' mind frame of being able to just and that's the internet in general.
Right.
People could never even rip off beats off like YouTube. They have the big thing like AJ used to always joke about this because people would come in and be like, "Oh yeah, I got this beat off YouTube," and have like all the tags in it when they're about to record it.
Yes.
So I mean, the internet is just so easy to get stuff now.
Yep.
That I think artists do feel like entitled that they don't have to pay as much for a beat, or if you're standing by your price, like almost like you're doing something wrong. Like well, I can just do this. So yeah, I mean, I think it does. I think it does cloud artists up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of artists out there that'll pay.
Oh yeah,
for what they want.
Of course, I love all you artists who pay.
Yes. But there definitely are a lot that want it for free or for gas money.
Yeah.
Like a half.
Or they look at that bill and go, "How much is this bill today?" Yo, I'll sell you this bill for $38.97. Let's go.
Yeah, and then like I said, I can understand too. Like some people might have it cheap on there. They might just need the money.
Yeah.
There might be some people that just need the money. I mean, but they're I don't know. I think it does hurt it. It makes the artist think that they don't really have to pay for anything.
Because see, when you are buying a beat from an artist face to face, I think there's more that you're getting with than just buying the beat. Especially if you're building a relationship with that particular artist, you're getting my years of expertise. You're getting feedback that can help better the song and better you as an artist. You're getting the mixing, the mastering. You're gonna get all this package deal that comes when we work together versus if you just buy the buy one get four free.
Yeah, buy one get four free, man.
For free.
I'll tell you, look, it's on any leasing site.
Yes,
it's pretty. Yeah,
that's right.
I was like, well.
So let's go back to SAE. So you went to SAE for engineering?
Yes.
So do you feel that within the music community that it is beneficial for producers, artists, whoever it may be, to actually go through a formal education in music?
So I'm gonna say yes and no.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say yes if so. Okay, I guess let me try to sum this up. So like now, like I have my company, Rob Thomas Productions. So like under my umbrella of Rob Thomas Productions is producer, DJ. Like I said, I do lives. I run boards at St. Bridget Catholic Church in Johns Creek. I do that every Sunday. I run their church services and stuff for their choir, and then I also do like the DJing now and the engineering. So for me, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do all of that stuff if I didn't go to SAE. It opened my mind to it because they teach you more than just engineering. They have a class that's just live sound. I would have never thought about that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say yes if your goal, I would say, is to broaden your mind to want to do other things. I think if I wouldn't have went to SAE, I probably wouldn't have been at that church on Sundays, or I probably wouldn't have been thinking about DJing, or and to be honest, some of the opportunities I got from SAE too, like just from like the internships and just some of like the jobs that they actually posted and stuff like that. So if you're gonna actually like if you're ready to really like learn about other stuff and like take advantage of some of the opportunities that the school's gonna give you, I would say yes. Now for no, if you're personally for me, I think if you're just trying to just learn like one thing, like if all you want to do is make beats, I think it'll be more beneficial for you to try to find somebody like a mentor or something like that, or try to somehow get into a studio to where you can maybe just like learn the business and learn a little bit more about it. Like I said, SAE really opened my mind a lot. But if I was doing nothing but maybe just like all I wanted to do was make beats and like engineering and none of that other stuff really mattered to me, I don't think you should really focus on trying to go to like a school if that's like all you want to do. Like probably want to maybe just find somebody and that you can maybe get under their wing and see if they'll show you stuff. But I mean, luckily I've been able to kind of get the best of both worlds. So I've been able to have some really cool mentors coming up, from producers to engineers to, creatives in general. So I've kind of gotten lucky to be able to get the school part and get that as well. Sure. I also went to college too, so I had already had my bachelor's degree in marketing. So, for me, it was literally, strictly just music. I know they do have like an associate's program as well. Now, one thing I would suggest though, if I could probably go back in time, if I would have known more about like big music schools and music programs, I definitely would suggest if like you love doing music in high school, I would definitely, if I could go back, I would look at schools like Middle Tennessee State that have like a really big like music program, or going to SCAD or something like that. Yeah. If I could go back in time, that's probably what I would change with college. I probably would have went to like a 4-year.
Yeah, me too.
I would have went to like a 4-year degree. So I guess to sum everything. Like music. Yeah. So I guess to sum everything up, if you're a little bit older and you want to broaden your mind, get some new opportunities, learn some new stuff, I would say definitely go to a school like SAE. If you're just trying to do just one thing, I don't think you necessarily have to go to a school. I think you can learn a lot. You can definitely learn a lot outside of school. I've probably learned more outside of school now over the past like 3-4 years than I did when I was in school, because I'm in like real life situations. Right. Like they can't teach you in school how to deal with an artist. Yeah. That's just going to have to, they can't teach you how to be able to run a session with an artist that brings 10 people with him and everyone's behind you drinking and smoking. And, you're trying to just work on the session and trying to do a pre-mix, but everyone's in there yelling and talking and stuff like that. They can't teach you that in school. Right. So that's why I said some of the stuff you just have to learn out there in the world too.
Yeah, and a lot of it is setting boundaries for yourself of what you will and will not allow in your creative space or in the studio. Yeah, definitely. I'll put it out there. Ain't no way I'm going to have 10 people in a session when I'm trying to make music and or record. No, I'm about business. At that moment, I'm about business. It ain't smoking, it ain't drinking. Sorry, that's just my own personal thing. Like, that's not happening. Like, I can't even deal with that. It's like, because if they're not being contributory to the project, I don't need you there. Exactly. I don't need you in the studio if you're not contributing.
Yeah, see, and like you can't learn that in school, because like I said, when you're in school, they're like, oh, max 3 people. So, you just, it's a rule, it's a rule. Right. You can't have that many people. But like I said, that's why I said, like, when you get into the real world, it ain't like that. Yeah. Like, people going to be like, hey, man.
Hey, yo, I'm coming. I'm bringing like...
Yeah, I'm coming.
9 of my other homies with me.
I'm bringing them with me, man. They're coming, It's like, like, the studio owner's like, shoot, I'm trying to get this money. So
and exactly, so the studio owner's like, yeah, bring them.
Yeah. They're like, bring them. So you're like,
okay. No.
Exactly.
We're not bringing them. No. Sorry. Got to have some type of boundaries in place.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so being in Atlanta, this is a major hub for music. Yes. Music. We got music producers, engineers, singers, rappers, you name it. We have it all here. So what would be some things that a music producer, an artist would need to do to kind of differentiate themselves in a city where there are so many of us?
My biggest advice, and like I said, I've always tried to live by this. Just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. Everybody's not gonna like your beats. Doesn't mean that they suck.
They're not.
You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, excuse me, sometimes they are. There are. I'm sorry. I've heard some producers that they just are bad. But you should never gotta feel bad about just being yourself and being creative. Your time will come. Like I said, kind of what I've been realizing lately in the game. If you look at like the producers that are like probably within like the past like 2 or 3 years that are like becoming really big or this or that, is because like they're bringing a different sound. People want to hear different things. So like I said, if you have that sound and it's different, I just say, man, just stay original, stay creative. Don't follow the waves. Cause like, you know, what's hot today isn't gonna be hot, you know, 6 months from now. I feel like if you just like find your lane or find a way that you make beats, they sound good, man. I was just say like just stick to your sound. I think you'll end up, you know, winning later on with that. Just being yourself, man. Just be creative. And like I said, you'll come across somebody you'll come across someone that'll love your beats.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And then, you know, when you guys make music together, it's gonna sound great because, you know, you just stuck to, you know, what you did. You know, that's kind of what I've always just kind of did with my beats. I just always make what I like. And then I know, you know, eventually I've been meeting artists lately, like I said, that we're just able to make good music, man. So I know it's gonna come. And then once that hit record comes, I know I'll be straight because everyone will just want my sound.
That's right. With that Rob Thomas sound.
It just takes one hit, man. It really does. In this day and era.
One.
It literally takes one.
That's right.
You get that one, you're out of here after that.
That's right. But okay, so going back to what you just said, as far as being yourself, being creative, being different. But a lot of people want to ride trends.
That is true.
Because they see that the trendy music is what people ask. So you said it earlier. Can you make me a beat like?
Yeah.
Can you do this like? And artists want that, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I believe there's some artists that don't. They want their own sound.
That is true.
You know, but I do feel that a lot of people are riding trends, and they feel that if this is the type of song that is hot, this genre or this subgenre or this type of beat, then, you know, they're like, yeah, I want that because
see, I never want anyone to say I sound like somebody. I think it's the same thing with like rapping. Like you know, like somebody comes out and they're like, oh, they sound like that rapper. It's like automatically, it's like the public's already looking at you as if like you're a rip off of somebody or something like that. Like, you know, someone comes out this and they're like, oh man, he raps just like that rapper. It's like you don't want to be known as like the person that sounds like somebody else. That's how I feel with beats too. You know, I don't want, you know, someone to be like, you know, oh, he sound like he part of 808 Mafia. You know, I don't want no one to like say that. You know, I feel like, you know, the producers that are doing really well right now, I feel like, again, like I said, I feel like they're doing very well because none of them ever followed a wave. They always, like, again, 808 Mafia is like a great example. Like, they came in with the trap beats and they took them to a whole
different level.
That like, no one ever would have saw it going to. Right. I mean, to the point to where, I mean, you know, Jay-Z was rapping over, you know, 808 Mafia beats and stuff like that. So, like I said, you know, I think, again, like I said, if you stay original, I know it's very hard too because the music industry is hard and you get sad and discouraged all the time. But yeah, I really do believe if you just stick to your guns and stick to your creative process and, you know, making sure you're original and you stand out a little bit, man, it'll eventually just, you know, happen for you, you know. But
that's right.
I can definitely see why it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people sometimes aren't patient either, though, man. It's like
not in this society today. No, it's
like chess, not checkers, man. So, yeah, I think that's another big thing too, man. I think people don't want to. Like I hear all the time, like if you listen to interviews with like Diddy, Jay-Z, all these people, they always talk about, man, you got to go through the struggle, and to be honest, that is completely real. And I think a lot of people, like even like my wife, you know, she's starting to get into certain things and sometimes it doesn't work out and she would like get discouraged, but you know, I just, was real with her. And, one day I was just like, man, to be honest, like, you're gonna fail. Like, it sucks to say it like that. But,
yeah, it sucks. But you're going to fail.
Yeah, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
So the minute that you can kind of accept that you're gonna fail, you kind of can brush that off. And then, like I said, start doing more things. Because, I mean, I've failed at a lot of stuff that I've been doing with music, but I've learned from it, and I just kept going. So, I think as long as you just keep going, I think some people are, like I said, not patient. They're scared to fail. So it's like, well, I know if I do it this way, I know it'll work.
I know it'll work because it's working today, so it has to work, right?
Yeah, like the amount of like country rap songs that came out after Lil Nas X, are just people were like, man, he went diamond with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and make me a country rap song.
But producers have been trying to figure out how to make country rap.
That is true.
Songs, even before Lil Nas X.
Yeah,
I remember when I was back in St. Louis, and we were even at that point thinking about, dang, how can we take different genres and put them together? Like, can we take country and make an actual like a country trap? And we were trying, and it was like it came out kind of right. I mean, it was kind of blending two types of genres together. I think Lil Nas X just got, and the guy who made the track for him, it just was the right time, the right moment, and it just blew the heck up.
Man, that track still amazes me to this day, to be honest, man.
Heck up.
I would have never thought it would have. I mean, it's Diamond, #1 on Billboard for the longest in history of any song. That was crazy.
Yeah, but here's the reality. A lot of people, even y'all who are watching, have beats on their hard drives like that today.
Exactly.
Today, and the only thing is that we either don't put them out there, we're not finding the right artists to be on those songs, or it's not getting the placements that it's supposed to. But
yeah, and like I said, Lil Nas X is like a good example too of like what I was saying earlier. Like just be yourself, man. Like he didn't think about anything when he made that. He probably didn't have no second thoughts about like, I don't know how people are gonna gravitate towards this, or I mean, to be honest, they probably didn't even think it was gonna get as big as they did when they dropped it. But again, like I said, the guy whoever made the beat, Lil Nas X, coming on there, doing it like that, just.
Did he get the beat from a beat store?
He got it off BeatStars.
See, yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
he said he got it off BeatStars at first. Yeah. I think he recorded it at his house.
So even major artists are going to platforms, and no shade. There's no shade on Airbit, or I got friends who do Airbit and friends who do BeatStars. So no shade on any of those platforms, but it's always like a but, right?
Yeah.
But major artists do go to those platforms and look for music that they can buy one, get for free.
Yeah, definitely.
And they'll make a hit song out of it.
Exactly.
It's so super crazy.
Yeah, because I think he only paid like $30 for that beat.
So super crazy. Yeah, $30.
Yeah, so he paid like $30 for it.
Back in the day, they were charging $30,000 per beat. Accidental 30 grams, like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I had Nick Fury on here, and his interview will be coming soon. So when that drops, y'all make sure y'all check it out. He kind of talked about that. He was like, back in the day, he said we got paid.
Yeah, you gotta. Unfortunately, now you're gonna have some hit records on you to charge.
Yeah, there was no buy one get four free. It was buy one for $40,000. That's about what you were gonna pay for one beat, whether you use it or not.
Yeah, it's like
that's how much you were charging.
It's like you can't.
Oh my god.
No receipt.
No receipt. Just $40,000 for one track, right? And so now, I mean, producers are lucky if they get $1,500. I don't know. I don't sell beats for $1,500. I don't
sell that many $1,500s.
Me either. Like I was telling you earlier, I haven't made a beat in like 3-4 months because I've been working on the whole show.
Yeah, that's why my new thing now that I've kind of been focusing more on, like I said, that's why I said, like, let me get away from the leasing stuff. Let me just find some artists. That's another thing that I think is really cool too. Like, I think in this day and age, I think it's really cool. Like, find, like, for me, like, what I'm doing now, like my buddy for Ignorant Luxury, like, I work with him as a rapper. I got a buddy from back home that I grew up with. He goes by Hello Shello. Me and him work on a lot of music because, we click well. Like, I'm working with my little cousin, you know, who just graduated from Tucker High School. So like he's like my younger rapper. Like I said, he's 18, I'm 29, so like it's a big gap, generational gap there. So I don't you know, probably with your sons, their generation, I don't understand them all the way. So it's cool to like work with my little cousin, so I can, you know, he's gonna make some different type of stuff to my beats that that probably will, you know, be cool for his generation. I don't really know too much about, like I said, I'm a 90s kid, so I don't really know too much about their generation, you know. And then like I said, my buddy that I'm working with, the R&B thing, you know, I think right now in this climate, it's like, I think it's better to just like find an artist you get that you guys click well with, and then just continue to grow and make really good music, so that when, you know, it'll just be organic, and then like once, you know, you both get a hit record, it'll just benefit everybody. Like I love like what Weezy and Turbo, you know, did with that Gunna album that just dropped. You know what I mean? Like they just have been, you know, clearly they've just been rocking with each other for a long time, and they turned, all of them just turned up together. So now Turbo and Weezy, they're out here doing songs with everybody now, you know, just off the success of them just, you know, staying down and working with artists that they believed in. And I think that's what I feel like the wave is right now. For at least for me right now, I think that's more of the wave of just like developing with an artist, to where I can help the artist win, the artist can help me win, and then those doors should open, and then that's when I think, you know, to be like, oh, okay, well, this person wants to be from you now, this person wants to be from you now, you know. That's just kind of like my wave, because I think artists, man, like I said, in this day and age, they get hit with beats all the time. So I think it's just better to just build with somebody, man, and then like you'll probably, once y'all blow up, then hopefully the other artists, the bigger artists will then try to come. Because I mean, I've ran into major artists, you know, they'll give you an email, you send them the beats. It's like hit or miss. I'd say that I've probably struck out with any person that I've met in person that's given me an email to send them beats.
Email this email.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever opened any beats that I've ever sent them. So maybe my new approach, if I come across somebody famous, I'll just be like, hey man, let's go to the studio. I think that's the next thing.
Let's go to the studio. You just have a studio in your back.
Yeah, I think the next time I see somebody, I'm just be like, hey man, take my AirPods real quick or something. I think I'm gonna just like be like, hey, you gonna listen to them right now, man.
Like, yo, I'm interested in working with you. Let's do it right now.
Let's do it right
Take
now.
out everything from the bag. And they can be like, yo, what in the world? Like, if we serious about this, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. That's gonna be my next thing I do.
That's right. So I know you gave us a piece of advice earlier. So what advice would you give anyone coming into the music industry? They're saying, you know what, I kind of want to go into music. What should I be mindful of?
Let's see. You're not gonna be able. There are gonna be people that you just can't work with. Also, a big thing that like AJ taught me too. Sometimes you're gonna have to just say no.
You gotta say no sometimes.
I think in the music industry, sometimes you just don't want to say no. But I really do. Sometimes you just gotta be like, this ain't gonna work, or just like, all money ain't good money. Sometimes, like I said, if someone's like really difficult to just record, like at this point where I'm at now, like I would just be like, man, we just can't work together, man. Like it's just not gonna work. Like I said, I would definitely say like, stay true to yourself, man. Like I said, say no when no needs to be said. And then I also would say too, one big thing that I've learned now that I'm working with more artists, I definitely would say discuss what you plan to do with something before it happens. Like before you even record, like discuss with that person like, hey man, are we gonna drop the song, or you know, it's just communication, man. I would say too, that's a big thing I learned, man. Like you gotta communicate with people, man. If you send somebody beats, like, you know, just, you know, let the artist know like, hey man, you know, let me know if you like them or not. If you don't like them, or let me know you recorded it. You know, send the song to me so I can hear it first. You know, like don't record it, then just go drop it on SoundCloud. Like, can you send it to me first so I can hear it, and then like do stuff like that, man. So that'd probably be like my other advice too, man. Like you gotta stay, especially as a producer, man. You gotta have that communication with the artist or set some type of ground rules before, like, I feel like music is even made, so that both of you guys are on the same page. Like that happened to me one time where I made music with somebody, but we weren't really on the same page of how like we wanted to release it, or if we were gonna do videos, or you know, anything really. So I think that's really important. You gotta be on this. Everyone gotta be on the same page while you're working on music, or it'll get real messy real quick.
That's right.
Very messy,
real quick.
Oh, and also send beats to everybody, man. It sounds really bad, but I send the same beats to a lot of different artists, man. I learned that from Zaytoven, came to SAE one time, and he was talking about how he sends the same beats to artists, man. Until the song is recorded and you feel like it's a hit song, that's like me. Now, if I record a song with an artist and we release it, maybe it hasn't got a lot of attention yet, but if I do believe in the song that we made together, like I won't send the beat to anybody else. Like no one else will ever get a beat from Ignorant Luxury, because those are songs that I believe in now. You know what I mean? So like I would never send those beats to anybody else again. But yeah, artists like to get your beat in February and claim it in February, and then December comes along and they haven't recorded nothing to the beat, but they're still like, you know.
Yeah, but hold that beat for me though.
Yeah, hold that, man. I promise you I'm gonna record.
Promise you I'm gonna record too.
So if people aren't recording to them beats, man, ship them things out, man, because if you got somebody holding on to a beat for 6 months, you never even know. Like I may have, you said you used to sing. I may have sent a really nice beat to somebody in February that never recorded to it, but I maybe could have just gave it to you a couple months ago, and maybe you would have made a #1 hit to it or something. So yeah, that's my other thing too, man. If people ain't recording to those beats, man, send them out. Send them out to somebody else, man. Don't no one own the beat until they either pay for it,
that's right, or
they make a hit record. So especially if you sending out free beats to people. Just to work with them, like, hey man, like, I believe in what you do, like, let's see what we can do, especially if you're doing stuff like that. Nah, man, you gotta send those beats.
Yeah, because the usual response is, yeah, man, I like the beat you sent. Let me hold on to it for about a couple months, just so I can get I can ride to it and fill it out. It's like, yeah, go ahead and do that. But 19 other people are gonna get the same beat.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta send them out.
That's right. So Rob, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Rob Thomas Productions, Facebook, Rob Thomas Productions. I don't really use Twitter like that, so I'm not going to send out anything on Twitter. And I'm not really on Snapchat like that either. So best way to get in contact with me again would be like Instagram at Rob Thomas Productions, Facebook, Rob Thomas Productions, and then my email is productionkings803@gmail.com if you want to shoot me an email. And again, like I said, I do produce, I engineer, I do the live sound at the church on Sundays, and like I said, I also do DJ too. So if you need any of those services, just let me know.
That's right. Rob, man, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you being here. Man. Yes. Is there any last final remarks you want to say before we close out?
Just don't give up, man. Keep going. Any artists, producers, anybody out there that's just working on music, man, it does get you down sometimes, but it's still a beautiful thing.
That's right.
And it's really a talent to have, man. But like I said, just don't give up, man. Just keep going. And if you're feeling down, call one of your music buddies, man.
That's right.
And they'll lift you back up, man.
That's right.
Just don't give up, man. Keep going.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't be like that guy, that meme where the guy is chopping away at the ground to get the diamond. And he's been chopping for like 10 years, and he's right at the brink of getting the diamond. He's like, man, forget it, I quit.
Yeah, man.
Like, don't give up. Don't give up.
You never know, man. It could be the next song could be the hit one. You just never know.
That's right.
Just don't give up, man. Keep going.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure that we had you join us today. We'll catch you next week on We Create Music. Make sure to tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can catch some amazing interviews with artists, producers, engineers, etc. And that's it. We're out, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in.